guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a simple breakfast meal prep with 3 recipes that are really easy to make, beginner friendly, 2 sweet and 1 savory. So let's jump in. To start, I'm making a big batch of granola. I find it so versatile, it lasts forever. So I make a huge batch. I started with some rolled oats, some pumpkin seeds, and then I just use whatever nuts I have on hand. This day was almonds. And usually I add coconut sugar to this recipe, and I definitely recommend that. But I didn't have any, so just left it out for a less sweet version. Added in some shredded coconut and cinnamon, salt, and stirred this all well to combine. Then I added in the wet ingredients, which is just coconut oil and maple syrup, and adds sweetness, and once it's baked, it gets crispy and crunchy. This is a looser granola, so not as many clusters. I'll leave some other recipes down below if you prefer a more clustery granola, because I have lots of recipes for that as well. But yeah, this is a looser granola, and I just divided it between 2 sheet pans. This makes a huge batch, if I didn't mention that already, but it lasts forever, so I don't have to think about it. And yeah, just baked it on a low heat for about an hour, and I stirred it every 15 minutes and rotated the pans until it was nice and golden brown, and then let it cool before storing it in an airtight container. And like I said, it lasts forever. It's a great thing to meal prep. The next recipe was my favorite this week. You guys know I love chocolate if you've been on this channel for any length of time, so I made some chocolate overnight oats with rolled oats, which I find last longer in the fridge before they get mushy and soggy. And then I added chia seeds, cocoa powder, and some cacao nibs, and just stirred that to combine. Then I just added in non-dairy milk. Whatever you have on hand is great. This was a mix of almond and coconut, and it ended up being amazing. So just added that in and stirred everything well. The batter will look really soupy and loose to start like this, but just let it sit for a little bit, stirring occasionally, and it will thicken up. So as you can see, after I let it sit, it got really thick, and then I just divided the batter, I don't know what you'd call this, the overnight oats, among 5 different jars, because it makes about 5 servings. If you have a big family, you can easily double this, and it has 10 servings. Yeah, you get the basic math. Just seal the jars and stick them in the fridge, and because there's no fruit or like bananas that will go brown, this lasted quite a few days. Next, for the savory recipe, I made a quiche. This isn't my recipe, but I find it really easy, beginner friendly, and just a great savory option to have on hand. I blended together some silken tofu, chickpea flour, water, nutritional yeast, some spices, and salt, and like I said, I'll link all the recipes below. Then I just processed this until smooth and just chopped up some veggies that I had on hand. Quick cooking veggies are a great choice for this quiche. So I used red bell pepper and zucchini, and then I also did onion and garlic and cherry tomatoes. So yeah, just cut your veggies fairly small, dice them up, and then we're just gonna saute them in a saucepan, I guess a skillet. So to your skillet, add a little oil and saute the onion and garlic until it softens and the onion is translucent. Then add in the bell pepper and zucchini and continue cooking it down till they get soft. Lastly, add in some tomatoes and a good pinch of salt and just cook it for another minute or 2, and then you're gonna add these veggies to the batter that you already prepared and just stir everything well. And then the recipe that I used called for 3 smaller skillets, but I just used a cake pan and it worked great. So I poured the batter in, I reserved some of the veggies for topping, and yeah, you just smooth it out into your cake pan, add the extra veggies on top for aesthetic. And then you're gonna bake this. This was a 9-inch cake pan. I just baked it for about 45 minutes or so until it was set and golden on top. So by this time, your granola should be out, and you can store it in an airtight container once it's cooled. This is great just on its own or sprinkled on other foods like oatmeal. The quiche, just to let it cool, and then you can cut it into wedges and store it as well, and then that's your meal prep done. So for the chocolate oatmeal, it's really simple. You just pour it into a bowl, add any toppings you want. I love peanut butter and chocolate. Banana would be great with this, berries. Added some pumpkin seeds for crunch, and I looked forward to this every morning. It is so good, super sweet, delicious. For the quiche, you can just reheat it in the microwave or in the oven, however you desire. This needed a little more salt in my opinion. I should have just added more, so I loved serving it with salsa or ketchup. And yeah, a sweet option like fruit and some peanut butter toast. Lastly, granola is pretty self-explanatory. You can eat it on its own. I love to mix it with other cereal and fruit and just add some non-dairy milk on top, and that is a really easy, nourishing, hearty breakfast. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed these recipes. You can find the links to the recipes down below and in my blog post. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye!